welcome back to the channel. Coach Mike here. So today we're going to go over another sort of concept. I like to think of it as creating the cage. Because, well, first of all, I like Star Trek, and that's like the first episode of Star Trek, so the cage is the name. But yeah, so it's a pretty easy concept. So we might go to talk about side control. This concept applies like a lot of places, but we'll look at it from here. So a lot of times, especially when you begin, you hear people saying like this person feels really heavy or something like that. And what beginners might think is that the person is putting a lot of pressure like straight down onto their partner, but that's actually not, in my opinion, like the best way to control someone who's in this position. So if I try to put a bunch of pressure on Mike directly, I'm actually giving him what we call connection, and he can actually move both of us. So he can push me out, he can bridge and stuff. If he bridges from here, the bridge is the strongest motion he can make. So yeah, exactly, he can like push me out. But now, if I don't think of that, if I put my weight on the mat rather than on Mike, and I create a cage around him, so I'm controlling his ability to go side to side, and then I don't have to worry about him going up and down. So if I have my weight on the mat, and I'm controlling his hips and his shoulders. I'm not actually really touching very much at all, but like try to get out. Yeah, it's extremely difficult for him to create any kind of power from a position like that because my weight isn't on him. He doesn't have a connection. What he needs is he needs to be able to get a connection. Like if he gets into me, yeah, and now he can move me. So that's pretty much the whole idea of that concept. Just not necessarily think about putting your weight directly on somebody, but controlling them by putting your weight on the mat and stifling their movement. Any thoughts, Mike?
Yeah, so I think that's a great way to like frame that concept. And like so some ways that you can see it probably start applying it immediately is by also understanding like the traditional escapes that your opponent is traditionally going to take, right? So if we look at our traditional side control escape, bridging in and then creating a space with our hip escape, allowing one of these legs to start to become a toe re-guard, I can kind of like choose where I'm building my cage, right? Because like it is as ideal as it would be to have the cage completely engulf my opponent. That also requires all of my tools as well. So if I'm looking to become offensive, maybe I would like prefer not to use this tool over here so it can attack in a manner. So by me understanding that, I oftentimes will use my elbow on this hip and my arm underneath the head on this side. So it's giving me this type of motion, like my elbow is drawing back and my arm is drawing forward, because on that traditional escape, his head comes towards me, his hips move away. So I'm taking that in the opposite direction rather than what he would typically like. And now obviously that opens up different opportunities for escape. But since that's your standard like first one, it's often a good one to start like building your cage with. So by me being able to do that, I also have a connection with my knee here. It's also going to allow me like some mobility as well throughout this motion, And when you're building the cage, like a great demonstration of it, was right here. Look at that cage. It's very easy to see what we're talking about. But your cage needs a ceiling as well, right? So like let's say like one of us was much smaller than the other. Well, then this cage leaves room for like in and outs, right? So there is an element of, it may look like I'm applying a lot of pressure down on Jared, which I am not, he'll tell you. But like I have like the roof here like set as well. So that way I'm not leaving too much opening underneath that.
Nice. Yeah, pretty simple concept, build a cage. As Mike was saying, another thing about when your pressure is not on someone's chest, you can actually pay more attention to what they're doing, and so you can replace those posts and essentially replace the bars of the cage if you're able to pay more attention to where your partner might be going. So it might seem like you are everywhere to them, but you're actually just paying a lot of attention to where exactly they're about to move and just hitting that post exactly where it needs to be. So I think that's about it for this one. Thanks to Coach Mike for being on the channel again. Get out there, come down and train with us. Oh, hit the like and subscribe stuff. I almost forgot to say that. Yeah, yeah. I gotta say it.
It's standard procedures.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you later. It's real.